Sir Charlie Stinky Socks and the Really Frightful Night by Kristina Stephenson. Once upon a stormy night, there was a tall, tall tower with a pointy roof, a creepy corridor, and some rickety-rackety stairs. At the top of the stairs, a witch with a watch was dreaming a scheme. A long green dragon was lost in sleep, and a little princess was snoring. Lightning flashed, thunder roared, and Sweetlebeetles niggled and clacked, and something went bump in the night. Well, the witch went on dreaming, the dragon stayed sleeping, but the little princess started screaming, "Someone has stolen my teddy!" How fortunate then that Sir Charlie Stinky Socks, his fearless cat Envelope, and his good grey mare were also in the tower that night, and how lucky that they woke up. "Hurrah!" thought Sir Charlie, "a damsel in distress!" And with one quick polish of his trusty sword, he set off to look for her bear. Trip, trap, into the creepy corridor he crept. Sweetlebeetles niggled and shoved. A shadow crawled on the wall, but nothing could stop the knight on his quest. Well, almost nothing, that is. For along the creepy corridor there also crept a smell. Ugh! Trip, trap, to a little wooden door. Now clever knights in tall, tall towers know smells might lead to something. So wise Sir Charlie covered his nose, and canny Sir Charlie followed it. Under the door the smell crept out, and a bold, brave knight crept in. Over a pot of green bean soup hung a gaggle of ghastly ghouls, dribbling, drooling, guzzling, gorging, slurping, burping, and worse. Envelope gulped, the green mare gagged, and Sir Charlie tried not to giggle. Good old Sir Charlie Stinky Socks knew what too many beans could do, and with one quick flick of his trusty sword, he opened up the window. "'Tis I, Sir Charlie Stinky Socks. I need to search this dining hall." And he tossed out the last of the green bean soup, and with it the terrible smell. In the tall, tall tower with the pointy roof, the ghoulies weren't so ghastly now, and outside the beans were growing. No, wait, that's a different story. Back to the dining hall, back to our hero, who didn't find the bear. But on that stormy night, at the top of the tower, he did hear some scary clanking. Was this the sound of the thief on the run, escaping with the princess's bear? Only Sir Charlie Stinky Socks would dare to find out. Clickety-clack, tippity-tippity-toe, out to a clanking headless ghost. That faithful cat Envelope took no persuading, nor did the loyal grey mare. They followed the lead of the Sweetlebeetles and bolted down the stairs. More's the pity for them, indeed, for had they stopped, had they waited, they might have heard the wailing that came from below. "Stop your wailing, called the gallant knight. "Sir Charlie Stinky Socks is coming to help. And he took the ghostie by the hand and led him down the stairs. He ignored the shadow that lurked on the landing and the Sweetlebeetles who watched him go, out to the rickety-rackety stairs, and now sensible knights, when they hear scary noises, never ever run. No, they stand their ground, they think a bit, and they laugh in the face of danger. Ha! Because patient Sir Charlie Stinky Socks knew just what was going on. If most of the ghost was at the top of the stairs, then the rest had to be at the bottom. It was really rather dark at the bottom of the tower. It was also completely empty, except for a truly grateful head, and the cat and the good grey mare. Oh, and the somewhat sneaky shadow that followed them down the stairs. There were no Sweetlebeetles, there was no missing teddy, and there was nowhere left to go. Oh, woe! Had Sir Charlie failed the princess? Was it time to hang up his sword? Well, yes, once he'd spotted the mysterious lever waiting for it on the wall. Grrr, clunk! The lever shifted and the door in the floor fell open. Envelope vanished with the good grey mare. Sir Charlie jumped in after them. And so did the somewhat sneaky shadow that wouldn't stay put on the stairs. Down a slippery, slimy slope slid Sir Charlie Stinky Socks. He followed his mare, his faithful cat, and a trail of sweetle beetles. Down, down, down did he down, right to the very bottom, where quite without warning the sweetle beetles dropped the princess's bear. Yes, there, in a dark and dismal pit at the feet of the cellar dweller. Envelope froze, the grey mare fainted, but Sir Charlie didn't falter. He may have forgotten his trusty sword, but he hadn't forgotten his courage. In the name of Sir Charlie Stinky Socks, said the bold, brave, curious knight, tell me what's going on. Sir Charlie glared at the cellar dweller. The cellar dweller looked at the floor. Just as I thought, said Sir Charlie to the monster. You made them steal the bear. The monster shuffled. The monster shifted. The monster burst into tears. If you lived at the bottom of a slimy slope where it's damp and dark and lonely, if you didn't like the thunder and lightning, I bet you'd do the same. No, I wouldn't, said Sir Charlie. A knight would seek permission. He'd climb to the top of the tall, tall tower and ask for the princess himself. But wouldn't you be scared? Stammered the cellar dweller. Of what? Said Sir Charlie Stinky Socks. The ghoulies aren't ghastly, the ghosties stop clanking, and the only monster is you. Oh, no, it's not, said the cellar dweller. Haven't you met the princess? She's spoilt, she's rotten, and she's always screaming, and someone like that would say no. Perhaps she wouldn't, said kind Sir Charlie. Maybe she's not that bad. With that, the sneaky shadow that had followed them shuffled into the light. Would you believe it? Attached to the end was a smiling little princess who looked at the monster, looked at the cellar, and looked at the rubbish around. This is no place for a monster to live, she said to the cellar dweller. Pick up that bear and come with me. I know somewhere much better. And all was well in the tall, tall tower until the witch's watch struck 2. Then lightning flashed, thunder roared, and something went bump in the night. This time the witch and the dragon woke up. The witch didn't notice Sir Charlie Stinky Socks sneaking out of the room. The dragon didn't spot the cat and the mare tiptoeing through the door, and neither of them spied the cellar dweller sleeping soundly under the bed. Instead, all they saw was a princess's teddy lying on the floor. So the long green dragon and the witch with the watch tucked the teddy safely back in. Night, night, sleep tight, don't let the sweetle beetles bite. And they didn't, you know, because on that frightful night they had better things to do. There's the sweetle beetles washing Sir Charlie Stinky Socks' socks. Ugh.